Welcome to Cruise News Central with Joseph.
Cruise news on December 1st in the year of our Lord 2024. On Royal Caribbean's Icon of the Seas, on an average week-long cruise, somewhere between 8 and 12,000 pounds of shrimp are consumed. That is somewhere between 240 and 360,000 individual shrimp. The reason I bring this up is twofold. One, we have a story about some ugly events on the previously mentioned Icon of the Seas. Events that probably wouldn't have happened if the people involved were at the buffet enjoying some of the thousands of pounds of shrimp on board the ship. And two, we have a story about some folks literally holding a hunger strike protest on a cruise ship. Let's get into the cruise news. In our first story, Mexico has the cruise industry feeling really uneasy about the future of all their popular Caribbean cruise ports like Cozumel, Costa Maya, and Progreso, as the Congress in Mexico has just made a huge decision. Let's roll the story.
The cruise industry is freaking out as Mexico's Congress has voted to charge $42 per passenger per port. This would make Mexico's ports some of the most expensive in the world. To add insult to injury, 2/3 of the money raised would go to the Mexican Army, not to improve port facilities. The Mexican Association of Shipping Agents are worried the charges would make Mexico uncompetitively expensive for cruise ships, and they're calling on Mexico's Senate not to approve the measure. It is speculated Mexico's ruling party is desperate to find new revenue sources to fund pet building projects like railways and oil refineries, some of which are being built by the Army. What do you think? Is Mexico making a huge mistake?
Our next story doesn't take place on a cruise ship, but it is a situation that could happen to any of us on the way to get on a cruise ship. You won't want to miss this one. Let's roll the story.
A man was recorded attacking his own airplane seat on a United Airlines flight from Austin to Los Angeles. The video was captured by a man named Gino Galafaro, who says he woke up to the man standing up kicking his seat. According to Galafaro, no one addressed the bizarre behavior and said, "The flight attendant walked by a couple of times. Nobody was doing anything." At some point, Gino had had enough and decided to take matters into his own hands. He recruited 2 other passengers and they held the man down, zip-tied his hands, and then seat-belted him to the seat. The man was taken away by police as soon as the plane landed. The man that was kicking his seat has been banned from United Airlines for life.
Hey, we still need to talk about what happened on the Icon of the Seas. Royal Caribbean is definitely in damage control after this event. But Carnival also made headlines this week with a major change to its policy on pineapple. Let's roll the story.
Carnival Cruise Line has banned putting upside-down pineapples on your stateroom door. If you're not in the know, this for years has been a symbol of the so-called alternative lifestyle of swingers. They would use this symbol as a dog whistle to let everyone know they were open to swap some STDs with other willing passengers. These are people who, for some reason, take pride in cheating on their spouse with someone else's spouse. A sinful and despicable act, most would agree. Recently, Carnival brand ambassador John Heald responded to the subject, stating that the upside-down pineapples are definitely no longer allowed on the ships, and they will be removed from any cabin door. It should be noted that the move is not Carnival making a comment on swinging, it's simply giving itself some legal protection by forcing passengers to actually meet rather than having random people enter each other's cabins.
All right, we have 2 blockbuster stories in a row. Let's start with the Icon of the Seas story. When you pay the big bucks to bring your family on the Icon of the Seas, you probably have some really high expectations of how your vacation is going to go. Royal Caribbean has built their reputation on this. But unfortunately, things recently got out of hand on the Icon. Let's roll the story.
A viral social media video shows an alleged brawl that broke out on Royal Caribbean's flagship, the Icon of the Seas. The $2 billion cruise ship is not a place where you would expect to see this kind of behavior. Comments for the video seem to revolve around comparing the event to what they would expect on a Carnival cruise, like this one by Kirk Anthony Live. How do those Carnival guests get on board a Royal Caribbean ship? While others are defending Carnival, like Deshaun Reagan, saying the funny thing is you'll never see this stuff on Carnival. I've been on 14 and never seen so much as an argument. It's still unclear what started the spat between several passengers, but what is clear is that no matter what cruise line you choose, there are bound to be some bad apples in the bunch. Have you ever seen a brawl break out on a cruise?
Okay, blockbuster story number 2. A hunger strike on a cruise ship. Truly, that is a sentence I never thought I would ever say. But here we are. Let's roll the story.
There is a hunger strike going on board a cruise ship. Yes, you heard me correctly. At least 3 passengers aboard the Swan Hellenic Diana have staged a hunger strike on a cruise gone bad that was heading to Antarctica. The reason for the hunger strike is an effort to get more compensation from the cruise company for canceling some of the cruise destinations. Disaster struck after the 1-year-old vessel developed an engine issue, prompting the captain to cut short port calls in South Georgia and cancel the entire journey to Antarctica. So far, the hunger strike has failed to accomplish much, as the Swan Hellenica CEO, Andrea Zito, released a statement labeling the hunger strike as counterproductive. Zito acknowledged the upset passengers, but pointed out that the 50% refund or 65% credit towards a future cruise exceeded the legal requirement, and that other passengers had simply rebooked.
I have great news. You now have another excellent reason to book a long cruise vacation. Apparently, it literally makes you smarter. Let's roll the story.
Does cruising turn you into a superhuman? Cunard Cruise Line has revealed groundbreaking neuroscience research conducted aboard Queen Mary 2 demonstrating significant cognitive benefits of ocean travel. A study involving 40 guests on a transatlantic crossing showed that 5 days at sea can increase cognitive abilities by an average of 26%. Key findings included a 29% improvement in short-term memory recall, a 125% increase in complex problem-solving ability, and a 14% improvement in attention levels. Participants also experienced a 158% increase in perceived relaxation, with psychological stress levels decreasing by 35%. The research, conducted by human understanding agency Walnut, used biometric tools to measure cognitive and psychological changes before and after the voyage. Next time your spouse needs a little nudge finally booking that cruise, just show them this study.
And here is some bonus content. Enjoy.
Cruise ships have come a long way in the last 114 years. The ill-fated Titanic, the biggest cruise ship of its time, held 2,400 passengers and 900 crew, while today's largest cruise ship, Royal Caribbean's Icon of the Seas, holds 7,600 passengers and 2,400 crew. The Icon of the Seas measurements are nearly twice as big as the Titanic, and its water parks, fine dining, spa, and entertainment blows away the simple heated pool, barbershop, and Turkish baths on the Titanic. It may surprise you that the price of cruising has actually gone down. After adjusting prices to modern equivalents, a third-class cabin on the Titanic costed about $1,800 and a first-class cabin about $4,400. On the Icon of the Seas, you can get an interior cabin for about $1,000 and a suite for $3,300.
Hey, that's it for Cruise News Central this week. I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. I can't wait to see what the cruise news brings us next. Until next time, always remember, no matter what destination you choose, no matter what cruise line you choose, adventure awaits.